Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 4th of September 2024 and unfortunately guys, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have gone down. Now in the episode that were released on the 2nd of September guys, the market cap of Ethereum was below the $300 million mark, and the next day, that is the 3rd of September, the market cap of Ethereum did actually cross the $300 million mark. Unfortunately guys, right now, the market cap of Ethereum is well below the $300 million mark, and I wouldn't be surprised over the next coming days the market cap as well as the prices will be on a downtrend, and the answer to that is pretty simple guys. This entire week, a lot of reports are going to be published, and unfortunately the numbers are definitely not looking good. Now mind you guys, these reports are more connected to what is going on in the United States of America from a production point of view. So what I'll be doing guys in today's episode, I'll go ahead and very briefly explain what report has been out today, and this report is the Global Manufacturing PMI, so I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. I'll also go ahead and discuss how this is connected to the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now the numbers are definitely not looking good. Now regarding Bitcoin mining guys, we do have some interesting development. Now at this point of time, you would know that every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted, isn't it? Now this time guys, the Bitcoin network hash rate has reached a new all-time high. So definitely positive news so far security is concerned. But the big question is, what happens to the Bitcoin miners? How are they going to cope up with the high energy cost? So I'll go ahead and give out more information regarding this. Now at a macro level guys, the Bank of Japan, they have actually put out a statement that they will be going ahead and increasing the interest rate hike. Definitely unfortunate, isn't it? Now the last time they did that, there was a massive collapse, and the information from Japan combined with labor market conditions in US did actually cause a global crash, isn't it? So what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, I do have a standalone episode that will release on the 5th of August called as Kamala Crash, where I go ahead and explained everything in detail. So I'd really recommend you guys to go ahead and check it out. Now the next news guys I'll go ahead and discuss has to do with Ripple, and looks like they're implementing smart contracts to XRP Ledger. Definitely a brilliant move, isn't it? So I'll go ahead and touch base on what this news is all about. Now we do have some teeny tiny update regarding Terraform Labs guys. Now at this point of time, you would know that Terra Luna went completely belly up, and that was because of the notorious founder Do Kwon, isn't it? Now looks like he still has access to the wallet that is connected to Terraform Labs, and because we can go ahead and verify every transactions, $62 million has been transferred from the wallet. So I'll very briefly go ahead and touch base on that news. Now look guys, this is one of the features of verifying all the transactions on public blockchain, isn't it? With central bank digital currencies, we absolutely cannot do that. Now regarding central banks guys, we do have a really interesting report, and looks like central banks all over the world, they are accumulating a lot of gold. So I'll go ahead and discuss a really interesting news where central banks all over the world, they have been acquiring gold quite a lot, and I'll go ahead and discuss what does it mean for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as well. Now look guys, when the prices of gold are increasing, this would mean that gold is turning out to be a safe haven against inflation, isn't it? And now we're heading towards some kind of calamity, probably World War III or nuclear war. I wouldn't be surprised with a left-leaning administration that is possible, because the US election is coming up pretty soon, isn't it? So in today's episode, I'll go ahead and discuss why is it that the central banks are accumulating a lot of gold. Now like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast guys, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is a really interesting news, and this is to do with Binance P2P services, and they have introduced Merchant Ambassador program for Saudi Arabia. A really interesting news, isn't it? Now if you're a merchant in Saudi Arabia, you may as well become an ambassador for them, and I'm pretty much sure there are certain benefits associated with it as well. So I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. Now the second news guys has to do with artificial intelligence. In Abu Dhabi guys, they have launched ambitious AI-driven sea cage aquaculture, and looks like they're setting a new standard. So definitely positive news. So what I'll do guys in today's episode, I'll definitely go ahead and share more information regarding this. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 Ps. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, unfortunately, guys, the global cryptocurrency market is not doing good at all. It is at $2.03 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.33%. If you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, it is only at $57.72 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 4.62%. Now, look, guys, at a macro level, the key metric that you need to be looking at is the volume of stable coins, and that would give us an indication as to which direction the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would be heading towards, isn't it? Unfortunately, guys, the volume of stablecoins hasn't increased at all, and it is only around the $50 billion mark, so I'll definitely go and touch base on that. But before that, guys, let me quickly run through the volume of decentralized finance, because look, guys, I hate saying this, no matter what happens in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, or even artificial intelligence world, the volume in DeFi is pretty much dead, and today it is less than $3 billion. It is at $2.78 billion, and DeFi as of today is accounting for only 4.82% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, the total value locked is on a downtrend, and today it is at $80.65 billion. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, over the next coming months if the total value log goes below the $70 billion mark. As a matter of fact, guys, I wouldn't be surprised even if it goes below the $50 billion mark. But look, guys, there's an interesting development that is going to take place on the 18th of September. So we might see a drastic hike during that time, because on the 18th of September, guys, Federal Chair Jerome Powell will be reducing the interest rate, and because of that, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up. So definitely keep an eye on that date. Now going back to DeFi, guys, Lido is still dominating and its total value locked is $24.09 billion. Now one metric, guys, which I'd really like to see improving, that is the decentralized to centralized exchange dominance. Unfortunately, guys, it is only at 15.21%. Now let me quickly run through the volume of decentralized exchanges. Unfortunately, guys, since the last 3 weeks, the volume of decentralized exchanges has actually gone down. And according to me, guys, when the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going down, this should be the time where decentralized exchange volume should be picking up pace, isn't it? Unfortunately, things are not looking good at a macro level, because if you look at Uniswap's volume, guys, on an average given day, it used to be around the $1 billion mark, but today it is only at $711.65 million. PancakeSwap is at number 2nd. Its volume is $503.19 million. Aerodrome, guys, is at number 3rd. Its volume is $280.83 million. Orca is at number 4th. Its volume is $272.21 million. And Radium, guys, is at number 5th. And its volume is $232.28 million. If I'm not mistaken, guys, out of the top 5, 3 of them are working only on Solana blockchain, isn't it? So you need to go ahead and check what is going on in the world of Solana. Now let me quickly run through the volume of stable coins. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, I would really like to see this number much higher. To be honest, guys, based on what is going on at a macro level, stablecoin volume around the $100 to $120 billion mark would have given me some confidence. Unfortunately, guys, the numbers are almost half of that. It is only at $53.52 billion, and stablecoins as of today is accounting for only 92.72% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, with TetherUSDT leading the pack, and its volume is $44.13 billion. Circle USDC, guys, is at number 2nd. Its volume is $4.86 billion. And FDUSD, guys, its volume is $3.68 billion. Now what I want to do next, guys, is I just want to quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, guys, the market cap of Ethereum has gone well below the $300 million mark. It is at $296 million, whereas Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.14 trillion. Now regarding the 24-hour trading volume in comparison to yesterday, the numbers are pretty much the same. Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $27.54 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume, guys, is at $11.24 billion. Now if you look at the dominance of Bitcoin, today it is at 56.42%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is at 14.50%. Now what I want to do next, guys, is I want to look at the market cap of DeFi protocols, and it is a bit surprised, guys, that Chainlink is at number 1, and the market cap of Chainlink is at $6.35 billion. Now regarding Chainlink's founder, that is Sergey Nazarov, just a bit of fun fact, he did actually register the domain name, that is smartcontracts.com, and he did actually register it 2 years before Satoshi Nakamoto launched the Bitcoin white paper. So a lot of people are actually speculating that he might be Satoshi Nakamoto. But look, guys, the chances of him to be Satoshi Nakamoto is extremely less, because based on the initial communication, he should have been around 13 to 14 years old to go ahead and release the Bitcoin white paper. But look, guys, so far as Chainlink is concerned, I would really recommend you to go ahead and join the Facebook group. Another fun fact is that they make some of the best memes on the planet, not just in the cryptocurrency world, but overall, if you look at the memes, the group does create some of the best memes. Now the second one is MakerDAO's DAI, and its market cap is at $5.36 billion. And guys, last week I talked about MakerDAO. They would be switching to a new protocol, that is Sky.money, isn't it? Now the third one, guys, is Uniswap, and its market cap is at $4.67 billion. Now I was really anticipating, guys, that Uniswap's market cap should be leading the pack. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Now the fourth and the fifth one is really interesting, guys, because the fourth one is Ether.fi staked Ether, and it is at $4.31 billion. Now Ether.fi or Ether.finance is a decentralized Ethereum staking platform that enables users to stake Ethereum while retaining control over the private keys. So this platform, guys, essentially allows participants to earn staking rewards without relinquishing ownership of the stake assets, and Ether.finance provides liquidity staking options and supports decentralized node operations as well. And what it does is, it enables users to maximize their returns through additional restaking features, and its market cap is at $4.31 billion. Now the fifth one, guys, is really interesting, and this is Wrapped Stake Ethereum, and its market cap is at $3.99 billion, and it issues Wrapped Ethereum as a liquid, tradable token as representation stake Ethereum. Now this token, guys, allows users to maintain liquidity and engage in other DeFi activities, while at the same time earning staking rewards, thereby enhancing both utility and flexibility in Ethereum DeFi ecosystem. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to DeFiLlama.com, and if you actually select any of these protocols, it does go ahead and give you more information regarding this. Now, I was really shocked to see them in the top 5, to be honest. So really interesting protocol, I guess. Now what I want to do next, guys, is before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, I want to give out some basic level information regarding the PMI numbers, because the data was just out earlier today, and the data discusses the global manufacturing PMI. And then what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and look at how United States of America compares with it, because look, guys, so far as the global marketing PMI number is concerned, the global output is on a decline, and the global manufacturing PMI has dropped to 49.5 in August, indicating a slight decline in global manufacturing output for the very first time since December of 2023, and this marks a reversal from strong growth seen in second quarter. Now, could it be possible because of geopolitical chaos? That has happened, most likely, yes, isn't it? And unfortunately, guys, global exports has gone down, and new export orders fell for the third consecutive month in August, reflecting ongoing weakness in global trade and contributing to decline in output growth. Now, the report also mentions renewed destocking and low confidence, and manufacturers have reduced input purchases, leading to the most significant drop in inventory since December last year. Now, this was mostly driven by cost cutting and low confidence in future demand, alongside reduced concerns about supply chain disruptions. Now, at a macro level, guys, the report also talks about persistent low business confidence, and business confidence has remained low, with ongoing concerns about geopolitical uncertainty, protectionism, and broader economic growth risk contributing to weak demand and inventory reductions. And finally, guys, the report touches base on slow rise in manufacturing prices. Now, it's really important to note, guys, that despite higher shipping costs, overall input cost inflation has eased in August, and there were lower pressures from labor, raw materials, and energy costs. That has actually helped limit the increase in output prices. Now, this is at a macro level, guys. What I want to do next, guys, is I want to go ahead and touch base on how the US manufacturing is doing, because look, guys, when the United States of America has cold, the entire world has pneumonia, isn't it? Now, regarding US manufacturing PMI, guys, in the United States, manufacturing PMI has fell to 47.9% in August, which is down from 49.6% in July, marking the lowest since December of 2023. And this signals continued deterioration in US manufacturing sector. Now, the report also talks about falling production, guys, and US manufacturing production has decreased for the first time in 7 months, and this is driven by weakening demand, and new orders have declined for the second month in a row, marking the steepest drop since June of 2023. And there are also rising inventory, guys, and slower than expected sales have led to significant increase in unsold stock, with inventories rising at the sharpest rate since 2007. And to be honest, guys, this is a concerning indicator for future production trends, isn't it? Now look, guys, with US elections coming up, this data is definitely not looking good for the Biden administration, in my opinion. Now, regarding employment reduction is concerned, guys, manufacturers have reduced the payroll numbers for the first time in 2024, reflecting lower output and declining new orders, and this is causing a lot of inflationary pressures, isn't it? And input cost inflation has accelerated to a 16-month high in August, driven by rising wages, shipping costs, and raw materials as well. And output prices have also risen, but it has done through a moderate pace compared to earlier this year. So look, guys, this is the reason why the US election is a massive important thing, not just for US, but for the entire world, isn't it? Now, what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and discuss how the decline in both global and US manufacturing PMIs can have severe potential impacts on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, if you agree to it, mention them in the comments below. And if you do have any alternative thought, mention them in the comments below. Drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. So the first point I want to touch base on is, can Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies be a flight to safe haven? Because look, as traditional marketing sectors weaken, investors might seek safer alternative assets to hedge against economic downturns, isn't it? And that is precisely the reason why the prices of gold is reaching a new all-time high. Now, Bitcoin is often seen as a digital gold and could benefit from the shift, and this could lead to increased demand and potentially higher prices as well. Now, there is also risk of sentiment as well, because on one hand, during periods of economic stress, investors may also move away from risky assets, including cryptocurrencies, and they could potentially move to investments like bonds or US dollar, potentially putting downward pressure on crypto prices as well. Let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? If you're a high net worthy individual, would you want to go out and buy bonds, or would you want to go out and put your investments into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? Now, the US manufacturing and PMIs can definitely impact investor confidence, isn't it? Now, so far as cryptocurrency market is concerned, it is extremely volatile, and the low business confidence reflected in PMI reports could actually lead to greater volatility in crypto markets, and uncertainty about the future economic landscape might cause rapid shifts in sentiment, with both sharp price increase and decrease possible. That's one of the reasons, guys, it's really crucial to check what is going on the 18th of this month, and few days before that. I'm pretty much sure a lot of the traders will try to go out and manipulate the market, isn't it? Now, regarding macroeconomic policy responses, guys, I do feel that central banks will definitely try to intervene, and a continuous decline in manufacturing could actually prompt central banks to adopt more accommodative monetary policies, such as lowering the interest rates. And Jerome Powell did actually confirm that he will go out and reduce the interest rate, but I'm really curious to check, guys, is he going to reduce it to 25 basis points or 50 basis points? Based on the numbers, guys, I wouldn't be surprised in order to pump the market, he might actually go and reduce it by 50 basis points. Or could it be possible that they might only do 25 basis points and then engage in quantitative easing? That is definitely not good, isn't it? And it's really important to note, guys, that such measures could weaken fiat currencies, potentially driving up the value of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as alternative store of value. Now, look, as if the government introduces fiscal stimulus to support the manufacturing sector, concerns about inflation might actually arise. Now, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies theoretically are often seen as a hedge against inflation, isn't it? So could it be possible that we might see an increase in demand as a result of this? I'm definitely hoping for that. Now, regarding market sentiment in correlation to traditional markets, guys, I do feel that if a broader market sees a downturn due to poor manufacturing data, cryptocurrencies which have shown increased correlation with equities in recent years might also experience downward pressure as well. Now, there is also decoupling opportunities, guys. However, if cryptocurrencies are perceived as a hedge or alternative to traditional markets, they could decouple from equity markets and experience upward momentum as well. And this is possible if confidence in traditional economy recovery wanes, isn't it? So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this. Now, the final thing I want to touch base is regarding the geopolitical and regulatory impacts. Because look, guys, right now there is massive chaos going on between Israel and Palestine, as well as Russia and Ukraine, and in US, guys, there is internal politics going on as well as in it. Now, I do feel, guys, that geopolitical tensions and internal chaos in the United States of America can impact manufacturing, and it might lead to regulatory changes in the cryptocurrency space, and investors could see, let's say, Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as more appealing if they offer a way to navigate or hedge against the geopolitical risk. Now, look, guys, the CEO of Vanguard did actually state, in times of war, it is best to have Bitcoin, and I'm pretty much sure a lot of the high net worthy individuals will be echoing a similar theme, isn't it? So look, guys, overall, the only thing I have to say that the impact of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will likely depend on the broader economic context, investor sentiment, and the specific reaction of central banks and governments to manufacturing sector challenges. Now look, guys, over the next coming days, there are quite a lot of such reports that will be out, so it's going to be really crucial to see what the left-leaning administration portrays this as. I really am not sure, guys. Mainstream media is definitely on one side, isn't it? The only thing I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, try to look at information from first source rather than listening to fake news or mainstream media. Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin, guys, is at $58,133. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.78%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 6.10%. Ethereum, guys, is well below the $2,500 mark. It is at $2,459. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 3.74%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 4.80%. Binance BNB Coin, guys, is at $523. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.96%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 4.77%. Now, regarding Binance, guys, unfortunately, some of the top executives in Nigeria, physically, they are not looking good. So really, I'm not sure if the Nigerian authorities are treating them well or not. Definitely not good, isn't it? Now what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and touch base on news regarding Bitcoin network hash rate. And the Bitcoin network hash rate, guys, has hit a new all-time high for over 700 exahashes per second, and this happened on the 3rd of September. Now it's really important to note, guys, that this happened despite a recent 10% drop in Bitcoin's prices. Now the surge reflects strong confidence in Bitcoin's long-term sustainability, with major Bitcoin mining companies like Watts Miner and MicroBT launching advanced machines to capitalize on the trend. And Riot Platform, guys, they have also expanded, acquiring block mining for $92.5 million. Now look, guys, while the rising hash rate does not directly impact Bitcoin prices, it definitely enhances network security, and it often signals upcoming bullish trend, isn't it? But look, guys, unfortunately, the Bitcoin mining industry, they are the ones who tend to suffer a lot because they're spending an exorbitant amount of energy, and the prices of Bitcoin are not reaching a new all-time high, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised over the next coming months and years, a lot of the Bitcoin miners, they are acquired, let's say, by Riot Platform or other entities. And in the last few weeks, I've got it and shared news where a lot of the Bitcoin miners are acquiring smaller miners, isn't it? And that could potentially lead to centralization as well, in my opinion, but definitely unfortunate news. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss another concerning news, and this is with the Bank of Japan. And the Bank of Japan governor, that is Kanzo Oda, has indicated that the central bank may continue raising interest rates if the economy and inflation meets expectation. Now, this follows a July rate hike that led to the unwinding of yen carry trades, which in turn destabilized risk assets like cryptocurrencies, isn't it? And the potential for further rate increases could have additional effects on these markets. Now look, as a similar instance did actually occur on the first week of August, and that led to a Kamala crash. Are we heading to something similar? I really am hoping that thing does not happen. Now regarding this news, guys, in a document filled with the government panel, the governor did actually state that the economic environment remains accommodative, with inflation-adjusted interest rates negative, even after a late July increase in benchmarking borrowing cost that was the first in decades and triggered an unwinding of yen carry trades, destabilizing risk assets like cryptocurrencies. Now I'm really curious to check, guys, if the left-leaning administration of Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, they put out any statement regarding this, because the ripple effect of that will be absolutely devastating, isn't it? Now regarding ripple effect, guys, the next news is regarding Ripple. The Ripple, guys, is expanding programmability that includes smart contracts to XRP ledger development ecosystem. And this move, guys, aims to provide builders, entrepreneurs, and users with additional customizability for a variety of use cases. And this will definitely accelerate innovation and attract developers who are looking to leverage XRP's ledger to expand capabilities, isn't it? So definitely positive news, I guess. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this. And Ripple is working on enhancing the programmability of XRP ledger, and they're doing that by focusing on considerations such as permissionless smart contract development, easy customization of native features, simple learning for new developers, and minimal impact on performance and cost for infrastructure providers. And gosh, to achieve these goals, Ripple, along with XRP Ledger developer community, plans to evaluate the best approach for mainnet and will publish an XLS proposal for broader review. And while this thing is going on, guys, significant progress has been made in XRP's EVM sidechain, which is developed in collaboration with Preset, and this sidechain will bring Ethereum virtual machine compatibility to XRP Ledger, thereby enabling developers to use familiar tools and programming language. And this sidechain, guys, is nearing live deployment of the DevNet, with further momentum expected in early 2025. And this development is poised to expand XRP's ledger's appeal to global developer community. So really interesting move, isn't it? Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on what is going on regarding the wallet that is connected to Terraform Labs, because Arkham Intelligence, they have highlighted that on the 2nd of September, Terraform Labs moved more than 1,075 Bitcoin from one of the wallets. Now, could it be possible that Dogecoin could have access to that wallet? Most likely, yes, isn't it? Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, the entire public address and the transaction details are mentioned, and this is one of the beauties of using open blockchain, isn't it? Imagine, guys, this thing being done in the so-called central bank digital currency world. Only the officials will know what the transactions are taking place, isn't it? Hence, it is so important that we truly understand the pillars of open blockchain. Even in a permission blockchain, guys, it is possible that only selected individuals will be able to access this account. So I thought I'll very briefly go and touch base on this news. Now the next news, guys, is more connected to gold, and Krishnal Gopal, who's a senior analyst at WGC, he has actually put up a really beautiful article, guys, and he has reported that net purchases by central banks have more than doubled to 37 trillion in July, and the National Bank of Poland was leading buyer in the month, followed by the Central Bank of Uzbekistan and the Reserve Bank of India. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, he has provided very specific details as to how much central banks all over the world are acquiring gold. Now what I want to do is, guys, I just want to go ahead and touch base on two areas: the implication of that for gold and the implication of that for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Because look, guys, the recent central bank gold statistics for July definitely indicate a significant uptick in gold demand. And if I'm not mistaken, guys, the prices of gold have reached a new all-time high, isn't it? And central banks across various countries continue to view gold as a critical asset, reinforcing its status as a safe haven and a store of value. Now, this trend has multiple implications for gold and the broader financial market, including Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Now, so far as the implication of gold is concerned, gold is turning out to be a safe haven, isn't it? And the consistent increase in gold purchases by central banks, even during periods of high prices, underscores gold's enduring appeal as a safe haven asset, and central banks appear to be preparing for economic uncertainty by increasing the gold reserves, reflecting concerns over global economic stability. And there is continued demand as well. And despite rising gold prices, guys, the ongoing demand suggests that central banks are willing to accumulate gold even at elevated levels, and this is likely due to concerns about inflation, currency devaluation, or geopolitical risk. Now, so far as price support is concerned, the strong demand for central banks could provide support for gold prices, preventing significant decline and potentially pushing higher prices if the trend continues. Now, regarding Bitcoin, guys, can Bitcoin turn out to be a safe haven? Because look, Bitcoin has often been compared to gold, isn't it? And a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, they often call Bitcoin as digital gold, and this is due to its limited supply and decentralized nature. Now, the increased central bank demand for gold might actually lead some investors to explore Bitcoin as an alternative store of value, especially in regions with strong cryptocurrency adoption, isn't it? And what about diversification strategy, guys? I do feel that central banks' focus on gold may encourage investors to diversify the portfolios further, and they may potentially consider Bitcoin or maybe even meme coins or other cryptocurrencies as part of a broader strategy as a hedge against economic uncertainty, isn't it? Now look, guys, both gold and Bitcoin are often used as hedge against inflation, and the central bank's accumulation of gold could signal concerns about future inflation, potentially driving interest in Bitcoin among retail and institutional investors who are seeking to protect their assets from currency devaluation. Now, so far as market sentiment is concerned, guys, I do feel that the continued strength in gold demand might also influence sentiment in the cryptocurrency market, and if gold prices remain strong or further rises, it could bolster the narrative that assets outside traditional financial systems like Bitcoin are valuable during periods of economic stress. And this is what the CEO Franklin Templeton has echoed as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what happens in the next coming months. Now, based on this, guys, there is a very high possibility that Bitcoin could actually reach a new all-time high, isn't it? And I do feel, guys, that the central bank's commitment to gold suggests a cautious outlook on the gold economy, and it reinforces gold's role as a stable asset. Now, for Bitcoin and broader cryptocurrency market, guys, this environment could lead to increased interest as investors seek alternative stores of value and diversification strategies. However, guys, I do feel that the relationship between Bitcoin and gold is extremely complex, isn't it? Now, some do actually see Bitcoin as a complementary asset to gold, but other people like Peter Schiff, they actually feel that Bitcoin is much more riskier and gold is the only way to go. So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this. So these were some macro level news, guys, on the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news, guys, has more to do with merchants in Saudi Arabia and Binance P2P. They have launched Merchant Ambassador program for Saudi Arabia. Now what I really recommend you to do is, guys, if you're a merchant in Saudi Arabia, go ahead and read through the terms and conditions. But regarding this news, Binance P2P has launched its Merchant Ambassador program in Saudi Arabia, and the program promotes diversity and inclusion within the trading community. And this initiative, guys, is part of Binance's efforts to create a more equitable marketplace, and the program is currently in a pilot phase, and the top 3 merchant ambassadors will have their ads pinned at the top of the P2P homepage, and the app placement will last for 3 consecutive days as a reward. So it's great advertisement, isn't it? Now regarding this program, guys, this is active from the 2nd of September to the 30th of September. Now participation is limited to verified P2P merchants, and participants must trade actively during this activity period, and selection is based on the number of completed orders with new users, and unique trading partners in the local fiat currency are also a selection criteria. And the top 3 merchants, guys, will be contacted by Binance P2P on the 10th of October 2024 Kind of an interesting way to motivate merchants, isn't it? Now, the program, guys, aims to reward active participation and contribution to the platform, and they're doing that with the merchant site that will be featured on the P2P trading platform. Now, this initiative, guys, underscores Binance's commitment to fostering a diverse trading environment, and this program offers visibility and recognition to top-performing merchants, and Binance looks like they continue to focus on inclusivity within the trading platform, and the Merchant Ambassador program, guys, could potentially go beyond Saudi Arabia, maybe in the United Arab Emirates as well. So definitely interesting and positive news. Now, guys, let's go and discuss another news, and this is from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. Now, this news, guys, is more connected to artificial intelligence, and the Environment Agency of Abu Dhabi, they have launched the first Hedge Aquaculture project in Abu Dhabi, and this project, guys, is initiated under the directive of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the project aligns with Abu Dhabi's sustainable aquaculture policy, and it is located southeast of Delma Island with the Al Dhafra region, and the project focuses on scientific studies and research on cultivating local fish species, and floating aquaculture cage system, guys, will be used in the project as well. Now, this news, to be honest, guys, is much better if you actually watch it in a video, isn't it? Because this initiative aims to develop environmental protocols for sustainable sea-based aquaculture, and it seeks to relieve pressure on wild fishery resources and address climate change impacts, and the project also supports food security objectives amidst increasing seafood demand, and it is designed to encourage future investment in the aquaculture sector, and advanced monitoring and data collection systems, guys, will be using artificial intelligence, and looks like they already implemented, and environmental sensors will monitor marine water quality parameters like temperature, pH, salinity, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, and ammonia levels as well, and the project will use underwater and surface cameras to track fish behavior and feeding efficiency, and a smart gateway for data transmission powered by solar panels will be used. NEAD, that is Environment Agency of Abu Dhabi, they have implemented hydrodynamic and environmental modeling to establish sustainable aquaculture zones, and the modeling helps determine the maximum biomass of fish that can be sustainably cultured without environmental impact, and the project includes 6 floating cages capable of producing 1,000 tons of fish annually, and targeted local fish value species include Safi Arabi, Gabbit, Sham, and Sherry as well. Now, the project supports the government's vision for aquaculture development, emphasizing economic and environmental benefits while reducing pressures on natural fish stocks. Now, the only thing I can think of is maybe the data of it could potentially go on an open blockchain, isn't it? So it'll be great to go and merge, let's say, artificial intelligence with sea cage aquaculture with blockchain technology, in my opinion. So these were the newscasts on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the like button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now, for the next few minutes, is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Miranda who asks, based on what is going on in the cryptocurrency world and the PMI data, how do you think the meme coin world could react? Now, based on my experience, Miranda, the first thing that definitely shows a massive sign, either in a positive or negative direction, is the meme coin, isn't it? Because look, right now there's a lot of market sentiment and volatility. Now, one metric that I'd really recommend our listeners to do is try to look at what is going on so far as the fear and greed index is concerned. Now, I do feel, Miranda, that with a neutral market sentiment now, meme coins might show mixed reaction because they are quite sensitive to market sentiment, isn't it? So I do feel if overall if the mood improves, we might see increased interest in investment in meme coins. Conversely, if sentiment shifts negatively, they could become more volatile as well. Now, the recent drop in major cryptocurrencies, I feel, could lead notorious traders to seek high risk and high reward opportunities, which might include meme coins, and this could potentially lead to price surges both in the positive as well as negative way. Now, I do talk about central bank actions as well, and I do feel that the potential for further rate hikes by Japan and the overall economic instability might actually lead to some investors to look for some alternative investments beyond Bitcoin, and this could potentially boost interest in speculative assets like meme coins, in my opinion. And one thing which I mentioned earlier is that central banks, they are buying a lot of gold, isn't it? And I do feel because of this, a lot of the investors might be moving into gold, and some of them might also choose to go out and buy some meme coins. These are just my opinions, to be honest, but one thing which I did touch base on is regarding the PMI trends. Now look, Miranda, weak manufacturing data and lower business confidence could actually lead to economic uncertainty, and in such scenarios, speculative assets like meme coin might gain attention, isn't it? So I'm really curious to check what is going on, particularly in the meme coin world. And right now there is MPepe, which is making quite a lot of news. Now look, meme coins are highly volatile and often influenced by social media trends, so I'd really recommend you to keep an active eye on Twitter, because they might either rise sharply or drastically go down as well. So the only thing I can say that meme coins could experience significant volatility, both in a positive or in a negative way, and they may benefit from improvement in sentiment or increased speculative interest, but they can definitely face challenges as well. Definitely a really interesting question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything season blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.